occasionally do a time lapse of this sort of printing. It's one of my projects, but my time lapse camera is, well, it's not available at this moment, so we'll just have a little view of it part way through. What are we? 41% of the way, so not quite halfway. Well, that print is finished. 3 hours 43. Got a little bit of cleaning up to do. Other than that, that looks okay. Now normally I would use CDs for wheels, but I think I'm going to try and print some. Same size as CDs, which means it'll take a stupid amount of time to do it, but we'll do it just for looks. Well, they're a good fit. Pleased with that. So that's the spinning tulips, and I should also use the same fibreglass rods for the axles. Just coming up to 99% on the first wheel. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's the first wheel. 1 hour, 31 minutes, 26 seconds. And obviously we've got to do 3 more. It would have been much quicker just to use CDs, but we'll see how we get on with these. I think the main problem is they'll shatter when they hit the wall if the car goes too fast. I've left it a bit longer than normal to cool right down so we can release it without distorting it. Because the last thing I want is wobbly wheels. So, that's our first one. Like I said, they probably will shatter when they hit the wall if the car's going too fast. As you can see, I've done one axle. I've actually left it long because I find it quite handy to be able to wind up the rubber band by spinning the axle. So that's why I've got that sticking out that side. I've got another wheel ready, and I've got one more printing at the moment. What I'm going to demonstrate now is cutting these fibreglass rods. You can use a saw. I use the edge of a file. And I'm doing it straight over the bin, so the fibreglass dust goes straight in the bin, because you really don't want to get it on your skin. At the very least it will be itchy for ages afterwards. People will give you stories of it working its way into your skin and causing all sorts of problems, so it's best to avoid it. One thing you really don't want to try and do is cut it with a pair of pliers or something. Try and crush it. That's the worst thing you can do. Yeah, don't use anything like that, because it'll crush the fibres and delaminate them, so they split all the way along. There is a video of me using one of these to fix a kite, because part of the kite had broken. I was on holiday, didn't have a file, but I did find in the holiday home they'd got a spade for digging the garden with, and the top of the spade's blade was almost like a file. I was able to go round it several times like this, and use it to cut it off. I'm just going to round the edges off there so there's no sharp bits. Another little tip would be to run some super glue over this, and that will stop the fibres coming loose after you've finished cutting it. What I'm talking about is you could put some super glue on there now. But this is the piece I want, the one that I've just cut off. See, there's a bit of a spiky fibre sticking up there. Right, so that will go in there. But we've got another one to print at the moment. When that's done, we should be able to test the car. The car is ready. So we have 4 wheels. Now, I don't think it'll need much power. So I'm going to use some old Loom Bands, if you've ever heard of them. A few years ago they were all the rage. People making things from them. Wristbands, and I seem to remember people making clothes out of them. Anyway, they're very thin silicone bands. They're not actually rubber. But if I join a few of them together, like that little string there, then we'll use that as the rubber band power. So I will join a few together. You don't need to watch me doing that. I'll just link them together. So we've got a string about the right length, and then we'll give it a try. Right, there's our string of bands. You could put a little hook on here, glue something on there. I like to just lay the band over the top, wrap it round so it goes over itself, and that holds it in place. Well, the wheels didn't shatter when they hit the end there. So I'll put the camera at the other end and see if we can hit the camera with it. Well, I would say that's a little beauty. No trouble doing the distance there at all. I'm sure I could have used far fewer bands and a bit of cotton rather than trying to make the whole length up. That had no trouble at all doing that distance. Excellent.